Women want what they can't have. No woman wants a guy that they know that they can have, right? Every woman wants a guy that she knows that she can't have. And this is why all of these guys, all these blue pill simps on these girls' social media who are liking all of her photos, dropping all of these comments, praising her for her beauty and her perfection and her flawlessness. This is why these guys never end up getting these girls. These guys never end up getting laid by anybody. These are the type of guys that women know instinctively they can have at any time. They can have these guys. Thus, they don't want these guys. Because at the end of the day, women want men that they can't get, that they can't have, right? And this is why when I take guys out and when I do trainings with guys and I teach guys on boot camp, one of the most powerful things I teach these guys is to disqualify yourself as a potential suitor, okay? So this is something powerful that I teach guys in pickup in game, is to first disqualify yourself as a potential suitor, okay? So the last thing you want to do is come up to the girl and identify yourself as a potential suitor unless you are going direct, okay? So I have to remove that caveat. Unless you're going direct on a girl, which I don't recommend unless you have a certain level of game. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of guys who are dating coaches will teach newbies how to do direct game, and I always tell guys it's a big mistake. Really, the path to mastery is you have to learn indirect game first. You have to become a master of indirect game before you can become a master of direct game. Part of becoming a master of indirect game is becoming a master of disqualifying yourself as a potential suitor. So when we walk up to a girl indirectly, we are not communicating our attraction for her, for that woman, on the surface, right? We are not communicating our attraction for her immediately. Instead, we are going to withhold that information. And instead, we are going to demonstrate value with the girl to make ourselves higher value in her mind, right? And the way that we do that, primarily, above everything else, is by disqualifying ourselves as a potential suitor. We might do certain things like negging the girl, right? We might neg her a few times. Usually if the girl is a drop dead gorgeous dime piece, like a perfect 10, I will pepper in 3 negs in a row, because usually that's the minimum that it takes to kind of like bring her down a few notches, just to let her know, like, hey, maybe this guy's not that attracted to me. Maybe he doesn't find me as attractive as other girls he's dating. Maybe he's the type of girl who dates girls who are way hotter and way younger than me. So we might pepper in a few negs just to disqualify ourselves as a potential suitor, right? We might start talking about the girlfriend that we have or don't have, and then that way the girl will be like, oh, he already has somebody. Why would he want me? Because most guys who are amateurs will lie even if they have a girlfriend. They'll be like, nope, I'm completely single, girl. I'm free. I have all the time in the world to date you. I'm not doing anything this week. I have no life, no friends. I'm totally free to go out with you. So when do you want to go out? And the girl's like, ew, gross, right? Because by doing that, that guy has removed that very powerful aspect of pre-selection in her mind. Like, oh, this guy doesn't have a girlfriend, he doesn't have a life, he has all sorts of free time to hang out with me, so obviously no one else wants to be around him. Why would I want to be around him? And this is why once you start dating a good number of hot women, it becomes very easy to get more hot women in your life, right? Contrary to popular belief, contrary to what you've been sold growing up, the bill of goods you've been sold growing up by parents, teachers, society. The more hot women you have in your life, the easier it is to bring even more hotties into your life. So when it comes to getting girls attracted to you, this is one of the biggest things that you could do to get her attracted to you, to make her chase you, is by disqualifying yourself as a potential suitor, especially if she is hot, right? Especially if she's hot. One advanced technique that I teach my students is to purposely place yourself in the girl's friend zone, right? Purposely place yourself in the girl's friend zone just to get into her life where you can continue to demonstrate higher value, right? You can continue to demonstrate higher value. You can continue to nag her, take shots at her, talk about other hotter, younger women that you're talking to, and get it to the point where she will literally believe the fact that you don't want her, right? And then when she feels that you're not constantly trying to get in her pants like most chumps out there, like most AFCs, we call them average frustrated chumps. When she feels that you're not constantly like haranguing to try to get into her pants, she will put her guard down and she will start letting you in, right? She will start investing in you, right? And she will start trusting you. And really, that's a point where you could start actually working game on her, right? But until then, if you're doing what most guys do, which is like either lying about the fact that you have a girlfriend or telling the girl that you're completely free to go out with her and all this other stuff, no girl on the planet is going to want you. I mean, at least no girl who is even the least a bit cute, right? Even a girl who's just above a 6 in looks, even those girls are not going to want you, because even those girls have guys who want them, right? Girl who's a 6 in looks might be a little chubby, but she'll have a pretty face or a really cute face, and she'll have guys who will actually want to have sex with her, want to make that girl their girlfriend, so she'll actually have competition, right? So even for that girl, she's not going to want a guy that she knows she can have. Instead, she wants the guy she knows that she can't have. And this is why jerks, dicks, alpha males do so well. Is because these guys are dating other women that are, you know, usually just as hot as she is, if not hotter than she is, if not younger than she is, to the point where they don't develop a case of one-itis for any one girl, especially her. And because they don't have any one-itis for her, she can feel that. It's like these girls can feel that aura coming off you, like, wow, this guy's coming at me with a full cup. He's coming at me as a complete man. He's not coming at me with any sense of lack, any aura of lack. Because when most guys like approach these girls or try to get with them or try to hook up with them, these girls can sniff out your lack a mile away, right? They could sniff out the fact that you are in scarcity, you're not in abundance, that you need her to feel good about yourself. You need her validation to feel like you're worthy, right? Whereas a guy who tends to be a dick, alpha, or is dating a bunch of other hotties, he's not going to come at her like that. Instead, he's just going to come at her like, hey, do you want to join the party? You want to jump on my boat? The party's already going on, right? He's not going to be looking at the girl like, hey, can you please come on my boat and create the party for me? No. Instead, it's like, hey, we already got the party. You can come on. And if you don't, you're the one missing out. Whenever you can make the girl feel like she's missing out by not being with you, that's when her attraction builds, right? When she feels like her life, her social value would be better by being with you versus not being with you, right? And I did a coaching video on this as well. It's like, does the girl feel like she's winning by being with you, or does she feel like she's losing by being with you? Because any of these girls that end up dumping you or cheating on you, it's the fact that she feels like now by staying with you, she's feeling like she is actually losing social value, that she's losing, period. She's no longer winning by being with you. Whereas in the beginning, when she first hooked up with you, she might have thought you were this badass alpha male. She might have thought that like by being with you, she would feel like she's winning. Whereas now, you know, maybe that evaporated, maybe you made a bunch of like blue pill mistakes and she lost respect for you to the point where now she's leaving or cheating on you because she feels like, oh, I'm losing by being with this guy. Okay, but at the end of the day, women do not want to be with guys that they know that they can have, that they know that they can get, that they know that they can like wrap around their thumb, right? That they can turn into their dancing little monkey boy. Instead, 99% of these girls, as long as they're healthy, psychologically intact females, will always want what they can't have. They will always want a guy who challenges them, who is not so easy to get, who has a life of his own, right? This is why I advocate for you guys all the time to have a path and purpose outside of women, right? Have a path and purpose of your own. Have goals, dreams, hobbies, something else that you're pursuing, that you're good at, that these girls can see like, wow, he's really passionate about this other aspect of his life. Because when she sees that you're pursuing that and you're actually good at it, that's where the attraction builds, because she knows that you're not going to come in there trying to make her the center of your universe, trying to depend on her for your source of happiness, which is what a lot of guys do. Sadly, a lot of guys look to their woman or look to women, period, to kind of like put the burden on them to make them happy, to make their lives more fulfilled, right? I look at a lot of these like blue pill simps out there, especially these late night talk show hosts that I keep bagging on lately. These are the type of guys that do that. They look to women to be happy. They can't stand alone on their own. They need women to feel complete, right? Like that line in Jerry Maguire, "You complete me." That was like the most like blue pill moment ever, even though I like Tom Cruise. But hey, this was the 90s. We didn't really have all this knowledge back then, so no, who knew, right? Who knew? But you should not need her to feel complete. You should be able to feel complete on your own. Because when you can make these women feel like you don't need them and you have a life of your own and your life is already successful without her, that is when she's going to want to come on board, right? That's when she's going to want to come on your boat because the party's already happening. So understand, guys, at the end of the day, women don't want guys that they know they can have. They want guys that they know that they can't have. And generally, these type of guys are what we would consider higher value males. Guys who are on their path and purpose. Guys who are on their grind. Guys who don't make women the center of their universe. These guys tend to have the most women in their lives because they're trying the least. They put in the least effort towards this. They put their focus and energy towards their goals, towards their business, towards themselves. What have I told you guys about putting yourselves first, right? Never put the woman first. Never put her first, right? Even in cold approach, you might think, oh, I'm putting the woman first when I cold approach her. And yes and no, okay? Because there's a way to cold approach these girls and not communicate low value behavior, okay? There's a way to do that, right? When I approach girls, like, I've had a number of students say that, wow, it didn't even look like an approach. It looked like you guys already knew each other. It just like looked like two people who've known each other for years having conversation. And that's the aura I create. But then again, I've been in field for, my entire adult life, over 3 decades. So I'm able to create that aura. Like the girl feels like she already knows me, right? There's none of this like, oh, this low value beta male coming up to me trying to get in my pants. No, instead it's like, wow, there's this guy. He reminds me of like an old friend or something. I feel like I want to hang out with this guy. I want to know him. And to people who are passing by, passerbys, like they don't think twice about it because it just looks like me and an old friend are catching up or something. It looks like, again, we already know each other. Where a guy who doesn't have as much experience cold approaching, like you could tell he's cold approaching, and then a lot of times, especially if it's a venue, that guy will draw a crowd and people will start watching, waiting for him to get blown out. Right? Whereas like my approaches these days don't even look like approaches. They look so under the radar. Even if I'm approaching the girl directly and I'm like, hey, you, what's your name? You're cute. My name's Matt. Oh, I gotta go. I have to meet some friends in a couple of seconds, but I just want to say hi to you, girl. What's your name? What are you doing here in Vegas? Where are you from? Right? And then we can immediately jump into a normal conversation and I'm still DHVing myself. I'm still peppering in negs with a girl. I'm still closing, but to anybody walking by, I mean, just the tone of the conversation and the aura of our interaction together just looks like those people already know each other. You would never know otherwise unless you actually caught me in the very beginning for the first few seconds approaching and telling her, hey, you're cute. What's your name? Where are you from? And then doing a little spin or something else, right? But outside of that, you wouldn't be able to tell it's an actual approach. Okay? So yes, there's a way to approach these girls and not communicate that like needy, supplicative, like beta behavior that a lot of guys do because they don't have any experience in communicating the right frame to the girl. And the reason for that is because they generally come from the wrong frame. But a lot of guys do when they approach a girl for the first time, especially if the girl is just a little bit hotter than what he's used to getting, he tends to not be able to be himself. He tends to not be able to be normal around her. He tends to act a little bit differently, right? And the reason he's doing that is because he's seeking validation from the girl, right? And you're probably doing this yourself because I've never seen a single guy that I've taken in field, a single student or even a stranger that I've seen approach a girl that I could tell the girl's just a little bit out of his league where he has the ability to act normal around her. He has the patience to take up her time and space and not feel an ounce of guilt about it. Because guys who, without training, who approach these girls who are just a little bit more attractive than what they're used to getting, they lose the ability to act normal around her. They lose that entitlement they have for the girl. And then I see them get a little self-conscious about taking up her time and space, right? They feel a little self-conscious about it. Whereas once you get to a more advanced level, you won't feel any of those things, and the girl won't feel anything coming off of you. She won't feel like you're doing anything as a tactic, you know, to try to get in her pants, or that you have an agenda. She won't feel any of that, because there won't be that, right? There won't be that. That will be who you are. That will be who you are. Because a lot of guys mistake like pickup 1.0 for pickup 2.0. A lot of guys like, oh, that shit is so lame and manipulative. I'm like, what is? Pickup? Yeah, it's so manipulative. All its tricks and stuff. I'm like, what trick? There's no trick, dude. It's all about coming up to the girl and being able to maintain your normalcy around a girl who's a bit outside of your league or far outside of your league. And just being able to maintain who you are, feeling self-entitled, feeling to be free to say whatever you want, acting through your own intentions and not filtering yourself to please her, right? These are things that are very hard to do when you're not trained. I've tested a number of guys to go out there and do it. Even people who've hated on me, I've tested them. Go out and try it. And then they do it and they can't do it. Like same guys like dropping hater comments way back in the day when I first started my channel. Like, come out, let's see you do it. Okay, I'll come out, right? And I would come out with these guys and not a single one of them were able to pull it off. Like as much shit as they talked in the comments, like, oh, it's just a bitch, I can do it. Okay, come out. This is where we're gonna be this weekend. We're gonna be at the Bungalow in Santa Monica, or we're gonna be at Victoria in Santa Monica, or we'll be at the W in Hollywood. Come out, I'll be there. And then you do it. Then they couldn't do it. Takes training, right? But at the end of the day, what have I told you guys? Women don't want guys that they know they can have. They want guys they know that they can't have, right? And what that entails is you disqualifying yourself as a potential suitor in her life, right? Don't immediately try to get in her pants. Don't immediately try to close her. Don't immediately try to have sex with her, right? I mean, unless you're gonna do that, unless you're gonna try to just direct close her, right? If you approach a girl directly, you do a direct approach, which I will do many times, right? A lot of times you guys will see me do the claw on a girl, right? I'll do the claw and then I'll spin around like, who are you? I'll just get in her face, right? A very, very bold approach like that will work. But the thing with an approach like that, we call it a high-risk approach, right? It's high risk, is it's 50-50, right? You're really swinging for the fences, right? You're either going to hit a home run or you're going to get blown out really, really hard, right? But I like those odds. But sometimes too, like if I want to play it safe and I really like this girl, I feel a connection with her, I will work in direct game, which is technically long game, okay? We call it long game because there's going to be more effort involved, right? Where I'm gonna get to know this girl, I'm gonna be investing my own time in her, disqualifying myself as a potential suitor, so there's more work involved. So obviously, this is gonna be a way high caliber chick. This is gonna be a chick, again, that I will probably rarely meet in field, right? That I share the same values and beliefs with, that is worth like investing in. And the thing is, it's generally a chick that even if she was like a guy friend, I would invest that type of time into. So it goes beyond just like trying to close her and have sex with her. It's just like, even if she was a dude, I would probably invest that time in getting to know this dude because he's like a high caliber dude, right? High caliber buddy, a high caliber business contact, right? So when I meet a female like this, I'm like, yeah, she's totally high caliber. I'm gonna work long game on this girl. I would say like 9 out of 10 times, like over 80% of the time, I'll get the girl just playing it safe, right? 20% of the time I might not, just because, you know, we all make mistakes, or the girl turns out to be crazy, or the girl turns out to be something that I'm not looking for, or that is not worth the time investment for me, and I'll just cut it off, right? But at the end of the day, women want what they can have, not what they can have. They want guys that they can't so easily get. So stop making yourself so available. Stop making yourself so open to go out with these girls. Don't be a yes man around her. You know, it's like saying yes to everything she says and agreeing with everything she has. She has to say, you know, don't filter yourself around her. Act through your own intentions. And you know what? She'll be like, yep, this guy's a badass mofo and I want to go out with this guy. And that's all I'm going to say for today's coaching video. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Do not forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. Okay, more importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. When you're subscribed, you get all of my uploads fresh as I upload them, so you won't have to search YouTube for them. And sometimes YouTube even removes a fresh upload that I just did. And for you guys who are subscribed, you're able to watch it before it gets taken down. But guys who are not subscribed, they don't get it, and then you start messaging me like, hey, where's the video? How can I get it? I'm like, it's gone, right? It's gone, YouTube took it. So this is why you want to make sure you're subscribed. So please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And for all you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I'm teaching you even further, the best way to support me is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you, just like you, how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I am talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students who are in my program, 7 Months of Mastery, are approaching and closing every single week all over the world. And I kid you not, we are doing this all over the world, no matter what virus is going on in the world, no matter what type of racial havoc is going on in the world, protests, riots, any crazy shit that's going on, we are still out there crushing it and making things happen. Okay, so if you want to get into 7 Months to Mastery, this is the absolute best way to support my work. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons, just $1. And all you need to do to get signed up is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.